Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rahul. Just a little podcast about, well, little video really about me when I was a kid. I used to live in a place called Churchfield Road, Acton. I've said before, but look, a few people asked for it again, but there's more on it now, yeah? There's more in my books. I thought I'd just do a little bit spoil you, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, so I used to live in Churchfield in Acton, opposite a park called Acton Park. A lot of things went on in that park when I was a kid. Like, we used to do a lot of fights in there with dirt, you know, throwing dirt bombs and all that. So, especially when it's raining, it'd be all wet and soggy. And we used to have dirt fights, you know, we used to always get cut and hit on the elbows and all them sort of things with big stones, and we'd wrap them up in the mud. And we used to like go in trolleys. We used to make trolleys. The trolleys, a plank of wood, 4 wheels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and nail them to it, you know, and then go down the hills, yeah. You know, it's funny, you know, when I was over at Acton Park about, 4 or 5 weeks ago, and when you walk through the park, when you're a little kid, yeah, them hills you come down as a kid, they're like that, they look like that, but when you growing up and you walk down and walk near them hills, they're just nothing, aren't they? They just look like nothing. So only years ago, you used to come down, it'd be really, really steep, yeah? But now it's nothing, you know what I mean? As kids, everything's fabricated, isn't it? It's all out. And with my mates, yeah, what we used to do, we used to do trolleys and come down the mountain, come down the hills like lunatics and knock over other kids smaller than us, because we were bullies really, you know what I mean? And then, but there was some kids in there was about 2 years older than us. There was about 6 of them, yeah. And we had to sort of like stay well away from them, because we was always fighting with them, yeah. And one of that proper fights, yeah, as kids do. There was big swings in Acton Park, yeah. We used to go over Acton Park to the swings, the slides, the roundabout and all that, the old-fashioned roundabouts and all that, the slide, the swing, yeah. We used to have good times, yeah. But sometimes you get captured in there with that lot that come through the gates, yeah. And 6 of them, there was about 6 of them, and they was all bullies. I mean, there's a lot older than us, but bullies. Maybe about 2 or 3 years older, but they was bullies, you know what I mean? So we had to get off what we was on and try and get over the fences. And the fences in them days, they used to always have spikes on them, you know, big spikes. I don't know what it was, but it's crazy, you know, just stop people getting in, not getting out, getting in. And, you know, you have to climb over there and get your trousers caught, your trousers whipped. Sometimes you get your elbows caught, your arms get caught on them, whip your arms up, but you had to get away. More than anything, you had to get away. You was petrified, you know what I mean? And they'd be chasing you down the road. It's like a proper film, you know what I mean? You're getting chased by these kids, the 6 of them, 4 of us, and you're all trying to get away, all laughing and giggling at each other. Never get caught, you know what I mean? Oh no, you never get caught, mate. They then catch us. If he catches you, they kill you, you know what I mean? And we used to go to shops, yeah? When we was quite young, I'd say about 9, 10, we used to climb in the shops and nick chocolates and nick load of sweets and all that. I used to love that, man. I used to love that when my mates go, come on, we go in the shops, eh? I said, leave off, come on, we go in the shops. We used to climb on the shops. Well, where I used to live, you got Acton Central Station, yeah? It's now a club that I used to work in, right, called Church, forget about what the club was called. It was a club there, yeah? And, but that used to be a big parcel place, yeah? Big parcel place, and next to it was some shops. This shop called Fred's shop. And Fred was like, pain in the butt. My mum was sometimes going there for a bit of tick, you know, for things, and they'd never give it to her, yeah? So it pissed me off, yeah? So what we used to do, the times we've done his shop, he must be really pissed. If any cat caught us, they didn't want to bury us, you know what I mean? But we used to climb through his shop at the back, smash the windows. Alarms in them days wasn't really known, yeah? There was alarms, but it's just ringing. There's no cameras, nothing like that, yeah? And the police wouldn't really care, yeah? And we'd get in the back and we'd nick all his sweets and sometimes cigarettes. We'd always hunt high and low for money, yeah? Sometimes he'd have a little float in the tills, and there was not these, tools, electric tills you can't open up. There was just normal tills with his big handles that plonked down and all that, you know, they're worth a fortune a day. And sometimes you get a little drawer, pull a little wooden drawer out and all that sort of thing. And always maybe leave a bit of change in there, you know. And you got a shilling in there, sixpence in there, footpence in there, a penny, half a penny, a little farthing, sixpence. It's all that sort of thing, you know, leave in there. And we take a bit, you know, but leave some in there so it don't look too bad. And take it and spend it and have a good time, you know what I mean? As kids. And then, but it was always looking out for the other 6 kids. Them other 6 kids was murder, you know what I mean? They was always looking for us, and we was looking for them to get away from them, you know what I mean? Because they'd kill us and nick whatever we had. And I remember one day, we was over Fuatton Park, right at the very end of the park, right across over the road, there was a big coal place where my mum used to go there. My mum, you know, the day before I was born, my mum had one of them old princess, princess prams, yeah, that I had to go in as a baby when I was born. But my mum was, at any time, was going to drop me, yeah, but she dropped me the next day. That's probably why I was so strong. My mum, yeah, she went down to the coal yard and put a big 100-weight of coal on it, you know, and walked the pram up this big hill, a massive hill, yeah. But it's saying massive. It ain't massive now, but as a child, when we were running around kids, you think it's massive, yeah. But my mum used to walk up there with a pram, one of them old princesses, with 100-weight of coal, take it home, you know, and drag it up the stairs into the front room and fill it and fill all the coal scuttles up, you know what I mean? Because we had a couple of fires in the house and it was freezing cold in there. You had lino, no carpets, mate. With the old windows, cold windows, you know, freezing cold, mate, all in places. And when you go to sleep at night in the winter time, your mum used to get coats, jackets and put on top of you, yeah? Because it was so cold. You didn't have that many blankets, no money. Anyway, so my mum, my mum has happened to talk to me about it. And what we used to do, us four, is go down to the coal yard, get over the coal yard, yeah, and nick lumps of coal, bits of coal, throw it over the fence, right, and go back to my mum's and give it to my mum's. My mates was my mates, and we should look after my mum and then look after their mums, you know what I mean, that sort of thing, yeah. And big lumps of coal out of this coal yard. But this one day we got in the yard and we decided to get into this like big factory place near the yard there. And we got into this big factory. You're always looking as kids for things, and it was what they made cars in there, or they mended cars. I'll never forget this car. It was a Wolseley 444. Anybody know that car? Wolseley? A Wolseley 444, an old police car, Wolseley 444. It was in there, yeah. And I loved it, but I got in there and I pressed them all back. And I was shitting ourselves. We've got to get out of there, you know what I mean? But we nicked a lot of tools. We took a lot of tools out there. It was only kids. So kids have got to throw the tools over the thing, you know, the too heavy to carry. You've got to throw them over there and drag them home and this and that. But we got nicked the tools. And the guy lived in my mum's house. He's a mechanic, so we sold little things to him. But he gave us nothing really, mate. He gave us half a crown, 5 shillings, and then you go to your mum. You go to the shop, sweet across the road from where we lived here. Was 2 old women, one called Doris, one called Dinah. And Doris, she had one of these unbelievable. You look at it all back, got all them days, you know, all them years ago. She was crippled, yeah, and she had polio, caught polio as a kid. Polio as a kid nowadays was quite one of the things that just happened. Every kid used to have polio injections. It was just one of the things that happened, polio. And she caught polio, yeah. And she had one of these chairs, one wheel at the back, one wheel in the front, 2 wheels at the back. And she had 2 handles, like that, going down the road like that, seriously. And she lived up Perrin Road, which is quite a long way away. But Doris, I think her name was Doris, and my mum's Doris and Dinah, I'm sure it was. And my mum was going to get ticks, yeah, for us kids. Maybe put footpence in there or penny farthing in there or whatever, yeah, for us to spend. Not every day, because every day is too much for my mum. She couldn't afford that, you know what I mean? So she put money in there for me, put money in my Diana or Keith, or, there's only three of us, me, Diana and my brother Keith. So later on we had the other two, yeah? The other two, Jackie and Bobby. But anyway, we'd have tick and we'd go in there and spend our money on licorices and penny, like a little bit, half-penny licorices. It was good, you know what I mean? All them things. And because I was sexually abused as a child, yeah, I was always very loose and I couldn't hold myself. I was always pooing myself. So when I took licorices, it would go straight through me. And my mum would kill me, mate, if I pooed myself. But sometimes I couldn't help it. I couldn't hold myself, yeah? Maybe being sexually abused, maybe that's what's caused the problem. Anyway, so the park was our thing. We used to go there and we used to climb trees, go to the top of trees and climb trees, snap the branches off and throw them at these people, throw them at people. But always looking out for the six of them, yeah. And one day we got captured up a tree and these six come on us, yeah. We couldn't come down the tree. They was trying to get up the tree. We was taking branches off, running down. Mate, I'll tell you what, me and my pals, we took the biggest islands ever. They had to come down. I mean, you can't stay all night long. They got us and gave us a really good island. It's like a proper film, you know what I mean? It was really, as kids, it's like so just mad what you used to do. I used to love, and we used to fight. Maybe once a month. If we get caught, maybe fight once a month, you know what I mean? And we never ever won. We always get beat, but you've got to keep fighting, And you're getting bigger and bigger as you go on, you're learning. And this one, I remember one day we all went over to the park, the four of us, and we noticed this guy hitting golf balls. And it was this big Alsatian. It was really big, you know what I mean? It was nearly as tall as me. I swear on my life. It was massive. But he had no hair. It was like, it wasn't a long hair one, it was a short hair one. It had a big face, Big face, man. And it looked the part, you know what I mean? You look, this will eat you, this thing, you know what I mean? Like a wolf, it'd eat you, mate. And, all of a sudden, we decided to go, when I say we decided, there was four of us, yeah? So four of us together going towards the dog might be a threat and we might get mullered, yeah? So they picked me to go to the dog. So goes to the dog with a stick. I threw the stick and the dog went and picked the stick up. Dog brought it back, I picked the stick up and threw it again. And the dog kept coming over to me. I thought, yeah. So then I had a bit more courage and I started stroking the dog, yeah? And the dog was as good as gold. The dog was really nice. Then my mates come over and we all started doing the same thing, throwing the sticks. And then my mate had an idea that we'd get hold of one golf ball and throw a golf ball. But for some reason, this dog didn't go for the golf ball, right? We couldn't make out why. Why not? But evidently, well, this is what happens. It's a good story, yeah? So we start playing with this dog. I'm loving this dog, mate. This dog really takes to me, yeah? Loves me. And every time I was coming to the park with my dog, Girly, Harry, that's my sister's dog, Girly. Harry would be on my Girly, the bitch, yeah? He would love my bitch. And one day, they got stuck together. And obviously, so she had puppies, but this is a later thing. So anyway, Harry, this big Harry's like, we're all loving this Harry, stroking him. He's really lovely dog. He's licking me. I can't believe it, how nice he is, yeah? And this guy come up to me. Don't get up being sexually abused, right? He came up to me, so what are you boys doing? And I said, we just we live around the park, and every day we come over here like playing games and we've got trolleys. He said, what's the trolley? I said, well, explain to him. He said, yeah, I've seen him come down the hill and things, yeah? I went, yeah, you want to see there's other people, but they're not our friends, they're bullies, yeah? They always want to bash us up. He said, don't worry about that. And this guy was quite not thick set, tall and quite, tall to us. We were only little babies, but he looked quite together, fit sort of guy, yeah? And good looking guy, yeah? And anyway, he's saying to me, what do you boys do? He said, well, we go to school. He said, what school? I said, go to John Perrin school. And us and all the others all went to the same school, John Perrin. And what, you come out, what, when you come over the park? Yeah, this is the weekend, this is Saturday, right? And he said, oh, he said, look, I'm here every Saturday and Sunday, but I like golf. And he had this big tub full of golf balls. He must have had 100 golf balls, maybe even more, yeah? And he picked this thing up and he took it along, he put a cut of golf, whacked it over, and it was going a long way, yeah? He went, look, he said, there's 4, yeah? He went, I'll tell you what I do. He said, I'll play golf every day, like a golf range, just whack the ball out of the gap, yeah? He said, my dog never touches a golf ball. I've told him never to touch a golf ball. He learned never to touch. He said, yeah, we tried to throw a golf ball for him to catch it, and he wasn't bothered. He said, yeah, he won't touch a golf ball. He knows not to touch a golf ball. So he said, look, you pick the golf balls up. He said, no, I'll pay you X amount of money, 2 and 6, 2 shillings, or a shilling, or whatever it is, for a certain amount of golf balls, yeah? So we was happy, that was our little job, coming over there weekends and getting money, you know, going to the shops, getting our sweets, treating ourselves, you know, and loving it. Good day, innit? For kids so young. He got 4 of us, all young, 9, 10, and we're loving it. We're all little sods, really, causing so much problems in the park, robbing people, doing this and doing that, you know what I mean? We were even going into people's houses, climbing through the windows, taking things out of the kitchens, more food than anything else. Listen, in them days, right, there was nothing to take anyway. There was nothing to nick. People never had much in their homes, yeah? There wasn't like this guy, which was, in a minute I'll tell you who he was, yeah? And anyway, one day he told me that his name's Scene Connery. I went, oh, okay. I don't know who Scene Connery is, I haven't got a clue. So anyway, playing, we're all picking the balls up, stroking the dog, loving the dog, playing with the dog, throwing sticks, picking up all this golf balls, getting 5 shillings, you know, getting a shilling, half a crown, maybe 2 shillings, 2 bob, just call it 2 bob, like a shilling, 6pence, foot and a bit, or whatever you want to give us, we'll get, yeah? And he was really, really good to us, you know what I mean? Looked after us. And he told me his name was Scene Connery. I didn't know this. So when I went home to my mum, I've seen him about, 4 or 5 times. And I told my mum, we see him, Mum, be careful, and we'll just go mad. Because when I was a as I say, I was actually abused as a child, but what I was doing when I was a kid, yeah. I used to come out my house and go to the fair. I used to go to the fair, and I used to work on a gun range, not a gun range, it was a gun place that with corks, put corks in the end of the gun, 4 corks, I think it was 4 corks for a shilling or 6pence, something like that. And they used to shoot at sweets, like box of chocolates, ordinary chocolates and things like that, and all sorts of stuff. But what these people didn't realise, that behind where they used to put the sweets, make it look, they used to put them at angles, but behind them it used to be wide. You couldn't really see it the way they had it done, yeah? You couldn't really see it. So very rarely would they win. So when people come in that I know, because I was picking all the corks up off the floor and all that, and giving them the corks, getting the money, giving it to the geezer. And this old geezer that used to work behind the thing, glasses, he had a bad leg, yeah? And he used to love me, like, helping out, you know. I think I used to work there at night times, go and get a 6pence or a shilling, which is a lot of money for kids, you know what I mean? 8, 9, 10 years of age. I loved it, you know. And when people were coming to the park that I knew come onto the range, I'd push the gear back, the chocolates and stuff back, and they'd go fucking mad. If someone knocked it off, how did they knock it off? Anyway, so in the end, it was my job, my regular job until my fair come. And me and my mates, we used to like watching the boxing, let me tell you what happened. So I went home, this is where I've seen Connery, got his name. So I went home to my mum and she said, what is his name anyway, Ray? I said, his name's Scene Connery, Mum. She went, you're joking. I said, yeah, what? She said, that's James Bond, 007. I don't know. Who's fucking James Bond? I didn't swear. Who's James Bond 007, Mum? Oh, he's a famous actor. He does this, he does that. Now, don't forget, this is like maybe one of his first film that he ever made. My mum worked in the cinema. My mum worked in the cinema as one of these women that walks around doing the ice creams. My mum used to have a thing over her shoulder and a thing in front that was ice creams, choco ices, and all them sort of things, yeah? So my mum knew who Scene Connery was because she see it, you know? She said, oh, he's a famous actor. Make sure you look after him, mate, you know? Mum, I said, Mum, just give us this and give us that. I'll give him a couple of pennies and bits and pieces. So she said, yeah, make sure you're kind to him, you look after him, he's a nice man, he's an actor, famous man. I said, Mum, he lives in this great big house in the corner, Mum. Looks over the park. She says, yeah, I know the house, Ray. She said, it's massive. My mum used to walk down and go to Nell's, yeah? She said, oh, it's big. He lives in, I said, yeah, Mum, he lives there. He's got a beautiful dog called Harry. But anyway, Harry did get hold of our dog, yeah, and give it puppies. Well, this is another story. But anyway, so I'm in the fair, right? This is Scene Connery, 007, James Bond, you know what I mean? He's like the top, isn't he? He's James Bond. So they have in the fair boxing booths, yeah? And so I'm watching as a kid. I'm only 10, 9 and 10. I'm watching as a kid. So all of a sudden I'm watching it, and you got these people in the front with their boxing gloves jumping about and all that. And we'll fight anybody in the audience for, what is it, for £3 or £5 or £10, what it is, yeah? I think it was £10 or £5 if you go to 3 rounds and £10 if you knock them out or knock them, whatever. But I did have a go later on in my life, yeah? Anyway, so all of a sudden, who's in the corner? Scene Connery, James Bond. 007. I mean, it's a joke. He only lives across the road from where it was, yeah? So the geezer, they all know. It's all been a little act. It's all good because people that watch the films, you know, like know when they say his name, who he is, you know, and this, that, and the other, right? So all of a sudden, the guy there, he's going, and ladies and gentlemen, we have with us in the audience, James Bond 007. People that can't believe it. This is James Bond 007. I think the first film, I don't want to film the first film he made, but this was the first film he made, right? And they're she is clapping and this, that and the other. So James Bond, it's all an act, it's all before. He's gone there, he said, look, I'd like to fight the guy. In the guy in the booth, how much do I get? And so he said, look, you go and I'll give you £5, £10 if you knock him out. So James Bond gets he's there getting all the stuff on and bits and pieces, the gloves and that, goes in the ring. We go in there as kids because he lets us in, he's paying for us. And he knocks him out, but he knocks him down the first, for about a count of 8, he gets up and he knocks him out. So it's all an act, it's all full of people, and everyone's clapping, way James Bond, he loves it, yeah? And anyway, so that's James Bond is the fair. I've got to go home, Mum comes and picks me up. I said, Mum, James Bond, Scene Connery, got in the ring with someone and he knocked him out, Mum. You know, she said, you're joking. I said, yeah, Mum, and I see it, it's unbelievable. Also, I could take pictures of cameras in them days, yeah? So my Mum said, oh my God, had to be in the papers. And it got in the papers, you know, it's a Gazette, yeah? I'm trying to fight anyway. So anyway, he's like, I'm still doing what I'm doing. And his dog, Harry, gets hold of our dog. He sticks to our dog. So we know the dogs are our puppies. My sister's not going mad, she doesn't mind my Dinah. And her dog Girlie has puppies. And it was from Scene Connery's dog, Harry. So then Scene Connery gets to find out that I said to him, look, your dog's give my dog puppies. You know, he goes and sees my mum, gives my mum money and always sat down for the puppies, to look after the puppies, my sister, yeah? And come on, you imagine putting it on now. Scene Connery, 007 puppies. You get millions of people want to buy them, you know what I mean? And charge a fortune, but that was in them days. No one had nothing, no money, yeah. So we used to also get into people's houses and, as I say, climb through the windows, and no alarms in them days. The only alarm they had was a dog 9 times out of 10, and they never had one, yeah. And so we used to get in the houses 9 times out of 10. We just used to nick food, yeah. You might find something, but very rarely find anything in these houses, mate. It's like everyone was like us, poor, yeah. But I used to nick a little bit of food, and we used to run around in the houses, make sure we got out in time. And anyway, one day I'm over the park. We used to see Scene Connery and all that, and bits and pieces. And Harry, I'm loving Harry, mate. Harry the dog, he loves me. He loves me to death. He's all over me. I think it's because of girly. He can smell girly on me, you know, and he just loves me to death. So my cousin Adam Faith, there's a place called Val Flats, yeah, and in the Val Flats, my cousin Adam Faith, Terry Nellums. Adam Faith is a famous actor, singer, yeah. And that was my cousin, my first cousin. My mum was married to his sister. I'm not my mum married, I can be. My mum's sister, my mum was his sister. My mum was his mum's sister. Right, that's about it, innit? Have I got it right? And anyway, my mum used to go down and clean the house out, and Terry bought his mum, Nell, a shop. But I remember going in the house, and Terry Nell had a favourite bit of a tea chest with a broomstick in it, with a bit of wire come boing, 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 singing with all these little cronies, yeah? Guitars and it. So he didn't become famous, and then he started doing film acting, Budgie, bark at me, Budgie God. It was called Budgie. But he bought his mum a shop, and my mum was going to clean it, yeah? And then they had 5 children, I think it was 4 or 5 kids. There was, the oldest one was Dennis, then there was Pam, then there was, Dennis, Terry Nellums was Adam Faith, then there was Pam, then there was Christine, then there was Roger, then there was Dennis. I think Dennis was, I'm not quite sure about Dennis. Anyway, Dennis was a stepchild, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, and then I used to go down and play there all the time. I used to go to my mum was a cleaner, mum used to take me, right? And then they moved to another place in Acton, opposite a place called Faraday School, big school. And I used to go down with my mum, and my Aunt Nell, right, she used to say to me, fuck off. Tell your mum to fuck off. As they did in the old days, you know what I mean? I go, fuck off, Mum, get clumped in here old my mum. She got mad at her sister, was doing that, yeah? But that was part of it, you know what I mean? Anyway, my cousin, Adam Faith, right, become very, very famous, Terry. And as I say, he bought his mum a big house, and I used to go around there, and I met Roger. I knew Roger from the other place in the Val. Roger was like me, he was a lot older than me, right, but he was going to be what I was going to be later on in my life, yeah? He become, yeah? He was proper fucker, you know? He would always be getting into trouble with the police. Police would all be coming around the house, he'd be doing all sorts of fucking things, nicking this, nicking that, nicking that. I was nicking things as a kid, but little things, yeah? But then he started doing big things. Anyway, so one day I'm over the park with Harry, the dog, and Scene Connery, doing the golf balls and this, that and the other. And do you know, as kids, there's always something in your head about the house. So we're thinking to ourselves, I wonder what's in his house. I bet his house is really nice. Because we know Harry, the dog, we know the dog's not going to attack us, yeah? And so we see him go out in a Rolls Royce. I know it was a Rolls Royce. I don't know it was a Rolls Royce then, but I do now. I see him go out with this woman, and with my mates, we see Dominic get in the house. So we climbed over the wall at the back. It wasn't very high, I bet it was high enough, yeah? Climbed over there, went all through this beautiful garden, jumped onto this shed, and got into, lifted these big old-fashioned windows up, yeah? Got in. This place was like a palace comparison to where we lived. It had everything. We couldn't take anything, it was petrified to take anything, but Harry the dog loved us. All round us, stroking, never barked once. Loved us. So walking around the house, looking around the house, and got upstairs and to the bedroom, and we noticed all these big pictures on the wall of women, naked women, half naked women on the wall, right? Maybe his wife, maybe his girlfriend, I don't know, but they're all on the wall. And you got pictures of him, James Bond, all, yeah, it's beautiful. The gaff's all got these big picture frames. I know now they're silver frames, yeah? But at that time I didn't know, but beautiful big frames, yeah? With pictures on. It's beautiful in the house, it's unbelievable, even got a phone in the house. As kids, you can't believe it, there's a fucking phone in the house, yeah? We ain't never seen a phone, not in the phone box, yeah? So to see a phone in the house is, God, he's got lots of money. Of course he is. So we go up another flight of stairs into another bedroom. And there's a great big cabinet there, yeah? And in this cabinet, there's these fucking guns. Guns, shotguns. Can't believe it. I'm going, there's guns in there, fucking thing. He's very dangerous. He's dangerous. So my mate said, my mum told me that 007 is proper dangerous. Right? He's proper dangerous, right? He kills people. I went, you're joking. Well, school your kids, ain't you? You know what I mean? Yeah, he kills people, He's a professional killer. Oh, let's get out of the house. We've got to get out of here, boys. We've got to get out. So no one knows we're in the house. It's us four, we go. No one knows we've been in there, because what we do, we might be kids, but we've got a little bit of something in our head. We know that we're in the garden, we jump over there, and we know our shoes are filthy dirty, so we take our shoes off, so there's no footprints anywhere, right? So when he comes back, he doesn't see nothing he can say anybody's been in the house. Harry the dog's sweet. So things are the same. We're going to the park, picking his gold pulls out, he doesn't say nothing to us, yeah? But we know these guns are in the house. And these guns, right, my mate went, Holborn and Holborn. What's that? That's in the city, isn't it? It's Holborn. We don't know what these guns are. Holborn and Holborn, yeah? So anyway. So I said, anyway, I'm always around my auntie's house, my Aunt Nell, and he's got a brother there. He got a son there, Roger, who's the fucker out of the family. He likes to rob things, he likes money. So we're telling him, I'm telling him, not we, my mates ain't there, it's only my mum cleaning the house up and I'm there with Roger. So I'm saying to Roger, oh yeah, we pick up all these things and a big geezer called Scene Connery, James Bond. If you're joking, I said, yeah, he's over the park, he lives there. Yeah, blimey, with that big house. I said, yeah. I said, the other day, because he's my cousin, isn't he? I don't know what he's about, you know what I mean? And so I keep putting his finger out, sticking his thing. So he's got to me, have you been in the house, mate? I went, yeah, the other day we climbed through the window. What about any security? I said, no, there's a big house chasing. He said, fuck that. Yeah, I know, this is how he loves us, because we play him every day. He loves us, he loves me, right? He went, oh yeah. He said, yeah, there's all picture frames in there and all sorts of things. But we went upstairs to this room and there's this big glass cabinet. He's got these guns in there. Big ones, small ones. And they're called Holborn and Holborn. It's in the city, innit? So he's gone, Holborn and Holborn, what the fuck's that? He don't know himself. I don't know, he don't know. Right? So he said, look, can you get me in the house? I said, oh, I don't know about that, mate. Nah, I can't get in the house, Rog. I said, no, I can't do that, mate. You know what I mean? This guy's been good to us, you know what I mean? No. I just want to look round. So anyway, he gives me some money. I think he gives me 10 shillings, which is a note. It's a big lot of money in them days, 10 shillings. He gives me that. So all my mates were really happy. We got money to spend for a whole week and we can enjoy ourselves there. So he said, will you take me to the house? I went, yeah, all right. Of course I will. He said, what about the dog? I went, yeah, but we've got to put the dog downstairs in the basement, yeah? Otherwise he will fucking eat you alive. So me and my mates climb over the garden. Roger climbs over the garden, we waits in the garden. We go up into the house. And so we're stroking, loving him, pull him up to this room, put him in the door, and then we know it goes downstairs. And it's the basement, isn't it? So he goes in there, he ain't happy, he's going in there, all of a sudden, Roger, come quick. Roger climbs up, everyone takes their shoes off, goes upstairs. What's Roger do? Take 2 fucking guns out of the house. 2 fucking guns. A big one and a small one. I know today what they are. They're Holborn and Holborn. They're worth a fucking fortune. They're about £100 each, these guns, you know what I mean? Maybe in them days about £5, but it's a lot of money. So he takes them. But what does he do? He don't sell them. He cuts them in. He cuts the fucking barrels off. He cuts the barrels off. And he sells them as sawn off shotguns for people to do robbers with. This is what, you know, going, you're a kid, you don't know that, but you later on you find out what it's all about. So we get out of the house, he's got the guns, we're unhappy, because now he's going, no, someone's been in the house. We let Harry out of the thing, he's in the house, so now he knows that it's got to be someone that knows the dogs to get in the house and do what they do, because of the dog. Anyway, so the next day, right, we go over to the park, it's on a Sunday now, he's always over there, Saturday or Sunday, playing golf, he ain't there. He ain't there, so I'm going, oh, fucking no, what's happening? All of a sudden we look around, we can see police in the garden and everything. We're going, crikey. So must be looking for footprints, and there's only us kids. Anyway, so on the Sunday, he don't come out. So we're putting ourselves a bit, what's going on, you know? Has he got cameras in him? We don't really know what cameras are, but you got to remember, he's 007, James Bond. What has he got? We don't know. You know, everyone's saying he's got this, he's got that. Mum says, oh, he's got everything, you know. Anyway, the next Saturday, we come over to the park, he's playing golf, right? So Harry comes up, we're stroking Harry, but he don't talk to us. He don't say a word to us. So I said, John, Mr. pick the balls up. He don't talk to us, he just sits walking around. And we know, right, he's changed completely towards us, right? We now, as kids, have ruined every opportunity we have with this guy of getting on with our lives, getting good money, maybe whatever, you never know what happens in your life might change. He just completely didn't want to know us no more, yeah? He never even went around mum's again, just giving my mum more money for the puppies. He just completely left everything as it was, yeah? Just forgot us, mate, we even existed, yeah? He half knew that it was us, yeah. Maybe 3/4 of it he knew it was us. We were only kids. But kids, you know, just to take his guns. Roger was an arsehole to take them guns, yeah. He should not, never took the guns. And there's a big thing about it, the guns being took, the burglaries and all that, you know, it was my cousin. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. We were kids, mate. 10 years of age, you know what I mean? And what's he do? Mucks it up, takes the guns. But kids don't really realise, do they? You know what I mean? Anyway, there's a little bit more to my story, but not now. It's Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button, subscribe, and good afternoon. Yeah, take them, have a nice day. Yeah, bye bye.